Hello and welcome to this recorded session. I'm Fatma Abdallah. I'm the development team leader at Infocenter Training Institute in Kuwait. As Microsoft Gold Learning Partner and leading training provider in Kuwait, Infocenter is pleased to present Windows Store application development in Visual Studio 2012. Let's start by reviewing the latest available technology on the client and the server side. On the server side, we have the cloud technology. Cloud is the place that hosts your backend databases. On the client side, Microsoft recently released Windows 8 operating system. By the launch of the Windows 8 and the cloud technology, there is a need for new style of application development. During this session, we're going to focus on Windows 8 application development. In such an environment, we're going to focus on two components, Windows Store app and the Windows Store. But what is Windows Store app? Windows Store app is a new type of application that runs on Windows 8 devices. Desktop PCs, laptops, and tablets are some samples of such devices. Let's take a look at the nature of such kind of applications. Windows Store applications have one Windows that supports multiple views. Some of these views are full screen mode and snapped view. Snapped state is one of the possible application view state. Snapping an application resizes the application to 320 pixels wide, which allows it to share the screen with another application. Snapping enables two apps to be visible at the same time, so the user can truly multitask. Tiles the front door to your application. We have two types of tiles, static and live tiles. In the static tiles, the images and the texts are static, while in the live tiles get updated from a web service regardless of the status of the application. We used to see title bar, minimize, maximize, restore button, menu bar, toolbar on top of the screens in the previous release of Windows, but these bars are not available anymore. Instead, we have app bar. App bar is a primary command interface for your application. The app bar can be displayed on top of the screen or at the bottom of the screen, and you can place your commands inside the app bar. Charm bar. Charm bar is a bar which is displayed on the right hand side of the screen in Windows 8, and it provides quick access to several commonly needed features such as search, sharing, start screen, hardware devices, and settings. These features are context sensitive. For example, you can configure the search box to be used in your application. What are the business benefits of developing such kind of application? Easy access is the first benefit. By submitting your application to the Windows Store, there is no need to think how to advertise your product. You just submit your application to the store and you put it in front of millions of customers. Instance feedback is the second option here. User will search the market for the application, they download your application, and they instantly provide feedback for your application. The third option here is automatic updates. If you update your application and you submit a new release of the application, no need to worry about the update process of the application. The store will do the work for you. Let's take a look at the Windows 8 platform. In order to develop Windows Store apps or meta-style apps, there are two paths that you can go through. If you have experience in developing application in C# and VB, you can go by path 1, which is using XAML, XML application markup language, to design your application, and use C# or VB to write code for your application. If you come from HTML and JavaScript background, don't worry, we also have another path for you to start developing this application. So mainly two paths are available: XAML, C# or VB, or HTML, CSS, and JavaScript path. For those who wants to stick to the legacy application development, we just can say don't worry, still the new platform supports the legacy application development, but in order to get benefit of the new features of Windows 8 application, you need to shift to Windows Store app template. Mainly two sets of APIs are available for building Windows Store application: Windows Runtime and Windows Library for JavaScript. In the Windows Runtime, JavaScript, C#, Visual Basic, and C++ APIs, which provide access to all core platform features. And the JavaScript APIs, which provide CSS style functionality and helper functions that can help you to write object-oriented code in JavaScript. One of the examples of this library is WinJS.UI. The APIs which are available for Windows Store application development are categorized into different categories: user interface classes, devices, media, communications and data, and finally fundamental. Now let's take a tour on the controls which are available to design our application. The first control that we're going to look at is list view. It's a control that presents a collection of items in a list that can scroll vertically. Let's take a look at the control by reviewing this demo. We'll click on the tile of the application, and the first option in the screen shows the multi-select functionality in the list view. The second option takes you through the master details implementation of the list view. You'll see that the user click on the icons on the left hand side, and you can put the list view on the static mode, and finally you can take an action based on the selected items. If you notice here, all the selected items are listed in the below of the screen. Let's continue. The app bar. We already talked about the app bar. The app bar is a bar which hosts all the commands and the buttons of your application. You have two locations to place the app bar. Either it will be on top of the screen or at the bottom of the screen. Flip view is a control that presents a collection of items that the user can flip through, one item at a time. A grid view. The grid view in Windows Store app has totally different look and feel. It's a control that presents a collection of items in row and columns style that can scroll horizontally. But the way it looks is totally different than the previous release. We're going to go through demos: grid view with list view, and grid view with search functionality. Let's start the first demo. In Contoso Cookbook application, we have a grid view which categorized by country name, and it displays the foods under each country title. Now the user can go through the products one by one. You notice here that the search functionality is not enabled in this application. By clicking on back button, we can return back to the main screen. Let's take a look at the second example, which is a grid view and list view together in one sample. Again, we run the same application. Now the users just horizontally goes to the products. Here on the right hand side you can see that the products and the foods are listed in the list view, while the main screen is displayed the products in a grid view style. Again, we are in the German, and on the right hand side you can notice that the products are listed in the list view style, which is vertically aligned in the screen. And finally, let's see how we can enable search functionality in our application. We'll go back to the same application, and let's assume that the user is interested in searching for a particular word or a particular product. Now here we type oil, and it shows you all the products that have that particular word. Here, for example, we can see that the sesame oil is listed in the ingredient of this product. Let's search for another example, and this time we'll type rice, and it shows you a list of products, and biryani is one of these products. Let's go forward. Toggle view, it's a switch that can be toggled between two states. It's similar to the checkboxes. Web view is a container control that hosts web content. This web content can be dynamic. You can access any website URL, or it can be static, and it can be used to represent a list of files of in HTML format or other formats. So it's just a container which displays the content of the files. Push notification is one of the highlighted features which are available in this new technology, and this feature is available with the Windows push notification services, and it enables developers to send notification from the cloud service to the client. Let's see what are the available types of the push notification. Notification types are, the different notification types are toast notification, tile notification, and badge notification. Let's start by the first one, which is toast notification. Toast notification is an alert which is displayed on the right hand side of the screen. You can customize this notification to display images, static text, or dynamic images and text from the cloud service. Let's take a look at the demo which discusses toast notification. We're going to show you different type of notification. The first sample is just contains text. The second one has a heading and a body text. The third option displays more than one line of text, and in this example you can see that you can display images next to the text. But what if I want to get some images from the internet and display it in the push notification? Here is the example of displaying dynamic images. Let's pass the path. You see that this image is displayed from the internet. And you can even respond to the toast events. So when the user click on the toast notification, you can just respond back to the tab event. Let's go through the other notification type, tile notification. We already spoke about the tile notification. Tile notification is about having live notification, live tiles, those tiles which get updated frequently from the cloud service. Badge notification, it's another type of the notification which displays over the top of a tile. Some samples of the badge notification usage is to show a number of unread emails in an in a mail application, to show a number of online members in a chat room, to display the chat status, and to display the current level of game being played. In this demo, we're going to go through the tile notification and see some sample of such a notification. We just send a notification to the application. Let us scroll to see the effect of the notification that we send to the application. We need to scroll more to the right hand side. A hello world is the notification that we send to our tile. The second example is about updating the tile with a local image. We're going to update it by redwhite.png file. So a red bar should be displayed on the application tile. If you notice, the tile gets updated, but this image is a local image. What if I want to update the tile with an image from the internet? Let's browse to some internet sites, take a copy of the URL, go back to our application, place it in the text box, and click on Send Tile Notification with Web Image. If you notice here, the URL is it's a website URL. Take a while and the new tile is displayed. So you can dynamically change the tile interface either by sending some push notification from the cloud service or by sending some notification from the local application, such as some local saved images. In the Windows Store app, you still can communicate with the internet. One of these communication techniques is reading and accessing the site content using really simple syndication technique. We're going to see a demo and see how we can access the content of the website using RSS feature. We have a sample here. We're going to connect to blog.msdn.com and we're going to access the feed and display them one by one. This is the site that we're going to connect to. If you notice, we have a list of feed items here. Updating our built-in apps to Windows 8, collaborating to deliver Windows RTPCs, and on top we have building Windows 8. Now, once the user click on Get field, the system tries to communicate with the server. And this is the first item that would retrieve from the server. The feed title is Building Windows 8, which is displayed there. And the item title is Updating Windows 8 for General Availability. And the content of the feed is displayed below the screen, the place that I'm highlighting right now. The same text is displayed on the website. You can go to the next item, the item title, and the content of the item gets updated accordingly, updating our built-in apps for Windows 8. So you can go to the next and the previous item, and you can go through the site content using RSS feed. Now, we went through the features, the nature of the application development, but how to start to develop such kind of applications? What are the required tools to start as a developer, start practicing and developing Windows Store application? The first thing that you need to do, install Windows 8 on your PC. Second, you need to get Microsoft Visual Studio Express Edition 2012 for Windows 8. And third, you need to get a developer license. This license is free, and the Visual Studio automatically takes you through the steps that are required to get the developer license. When we talk about the Windows Store apps, but we haven't talked about the Windows Store. After developing your application, it's time to publish and submit your application. And as we discussed earlier, the Windows Store is the centralized location that is used to host your application. And it gives the developer an easy way to publish their own apps. And Microsoft have a flexible business model. You can publish free apps, paid apps, trial version of your application, in-app and advertising support. You can just make some of the part of your application payable by enabling in-app feature in your application. But how to sell my application? What is the required step to start publishing and selling my products? The first step is to get developer account. This account is not free and it's payable. The registration fee to get the developer account is $49 for individuals and $99 for the companies. Let's go through the revenue share. If you sell less than $25,000, the revenue share will be 70% of the sale, and if it's more than $25,000, it will be 80% revenue share for the rest of the lifetime of the application. If you prepare the tool and the environment and decide to develop your application, but you don't know how to start your project, Infocenter will help you to achieve your goal. In Infocenter, we have MCSD track, Microsoft Certified Solution Developers for Windows Store apps using C#. This track consists of 3 courses, and the duration of the track totally is 120 hours. The first course of the track is 20483A, Programming in C#, which prepares you for 70483 exam. The second course is 20484B, Essentials of Developing Windows Metro Style Apps Using C#, and it prepares you for 70484 exam. 20485 Advanced Metro Style App Development Using C# is the third course in the list, and it prepares you for 70485 exam. For the experienced developers which are interested in learning the new technology in project-based training, Infocenter provides Developing Windows Store Apps workshop. The duration of the workshop is 30 hours. The workshop is available in VB and C# languages. During this workshop, the students will gain hands-on experience developing Windows Store application. Some of the topics that are discussed during this workshop is about designing the user interface, developing and configuring cloud services, consuming the cloud services, displaying the retrieved data, and finally submitting the application to the store. At the end, I'd like to thank you for watching the session, and I hope it was informative for you. Thank you very much.